boys and girls, it's Miss Janine and my sidekick here, my son Braxton. You guys have probably seen him before, but we're coming at you from our blanket fort on his bunk bed because we've been doing a lot of reading and making some really cool spaces to do it. So if you are watching our video, which hopefully you are, what I want you to do is go make a blanket fort so you could do your reading in one of those. It's super fun. You could do it when it's really dark, get a flashlight and read the book that way, and then I'd love to hear about it.
Here are some examples of some cool blanket forts I was able to find online. At home, you can use anything that you have laying around to make yours.
What we're going to do today is, first and foremost, I want to review with you guys the 5-finger storytelling method. So when we are in class, you guys usually use the popsicle sticks with the little green circles on the end, and those tell us all of the different 5 parts of the story, or 5 parts of storytelling, I should say. And so what we're going to do today is we are going to use that same method, but also read a story today too. And so what we're going to do is, the story that we are going to read, the main character is a koala. And so when we read the story, when we get through each of the 5 parts of the storytelling method, we are going to earn a flower from our koala friend in our video. So play along with us, read along with us as we go through the story today.
As a reminder, friends, by the end of the story today, you should be able to use the 5-finger storytelling method to tell me who the characters are, what the setting is, what the problem was in the story, the events, meaning the beginning, middle, and end, and of course, what the solution was.
So we're going to read a story today called The Koala Who Could, and I love this story for right now because it's a story about hope and about trying something new, and we're trying something new right now, right, with video lessons. And so the title is The Koala Who Could, 2 of your kindergarten sight words. I know you first graders can probably read this whole thing. The author of the story is Rachel Bright. Can you tell me really quick what the author of a story does? That's right, the author of the story writes all the words. How about the illustrator of the story? What does the illustrator do? You're right, the illustrator draws all the pictures. You guys are so smart. Man, I'm so proud that you remember that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. In a wonderful place where the day was just dawning and the breezes blew soft on a warm golden morning. In a place where the creatures ran wild and played free, a koala called Kevin clung to a tree. A nicer gray fellow you never would meet, as soft as a soft thing from ear tufts to feet. His favorite way to relax in the sun was to cling and to nap and to munch a leaf bun. And after all this, well, he'd need a nice rest. Yes, Kevin liked sticking to what he knew best. How many of you guys have taken lots of naps on this break? Yeah, you definitely have taken lots of breaks. I have too. You see, high up was safe, since he liked a slow pace, while the ground down below seemed a frightening place.
Too fast, and too loud, and too big, and too strange.
Nope, Kevin preferred not to move and not to change. So he clung to his tree, and he knew what to do, and never was too keen to try anything new. So when Wombat stopped by and shouted one day,
"Hey, Kevin!
Why don't you come down here and play?" I think, he replied, I should stay on my plant. I'm busy right now. Nope, I'm sorry. I can't.
Why not?
cried the Ruse with a super loud cheer.
Yes, why?
Called the Dingoes.
There's nothing
to fear. But Kevin, who'd never been one to act fast, said, I've clinging to do, but it's nice that you asked. As Kevin sat watching them chatter and share, a part of him wished that he could join in down there. But he knew he'd miss home and it was dark and so late. The whole thing was risky. Adventure could wait. Whatever the time, he'd always say no. Oh dear, it seemed that Kevin just couldn't let go. So his life was the same no matter the day. The weeks came and went, and the months rolled by. And Kevin stayed still while the world moved around until he awoke to a worrying sound.
Tap, 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 tap,
The
tap, tap.
sound went well. That was a blow.
Tappy, tap, 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 tap.
Oh no! What is that, Brookson?
Oh, woodpecker.
A woodpecker.
Uncling.
The crowd called, which had gathered below. Leap and we'll catch you, just let yourself go. But Kevin was scared. Let go?
No.
I shan't. I won't, shouted Kevin. Oh dear.
I just can't.
Whoomp! Down came the tree, and with it was bringing a crash and a wallop, and Kevin still clinging. Kevin, he carefully opened one eye and looked up at the Loves staring down from the sky. Then one paw by one paw, he loosened his hold. He felt
Stringy,
stringy, springy, and light,
and happy,
and bold. The worst he could think of had now come to pass, and he was,
just fine.
why, he felt quite first class. So when Wombat leaned over and held his paw out, Kevin no longer felt worry or doubt. When Dingo asked, now will you come out to play? The crowd all joined in with a, what do you say? And even though this wasn't part of his plan, Kevin replied, yes, I think that
I can.
And Kevin from then on was always
Can do. Because life can be great when you try something new.
Absolutely. Life can be great when you try something new, like having class at home with some videos. So the last thing I'll leave you with this story is what it says on the back that I love. It says, sometimes a little change can open your world to big possibilities. I'm Miss Janine, and this is Brookson, and thank you for tuning into our lesson this week. We're going to take a moment to review the 5-finger storytelling method.
It is now time to go over the 5-finger storytelling method for the book that we just read, The Koala Who Could. The first part of the 5-finger storytelling method is the characters. Who are the characters of the story? The next part of the 5-finger storytelling method is the setting. It's time for part 3 of the 5-finger storytelling method, which is the problem. The fourth part of the 5-finger storytelling method is talking about the events, what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. The fifth and final part of the 5-finger storytelling method is where we discuss the solution. As a reminder, when we're talking about the characters, it means who the story is about. If you told someone at your house who the characters are, you earned 1 flower. Where the story takes place is what I'm looking for when we talk about the setting. If you were able to tell someone you're with the setting of the story, you now have 2 flowers in your garden. What was the conflict that occurred in the story? That's what I mean when I'm asking for the problem. Your garden now has 3 flowers if you were able to tell the problem of the story. The next part of the 5-finger storytelling method is where we talk about the events, meaning what happened in the beginning, middle, and the end of the story. More flowers? Oh my goodness, you knew the beginning, middle, and end, didn't you? Last but not least, but the final part of the 5-finger storytelling method is where we talk about the solution. How was the problem in the story solved? You knew the solution, so you earned all 5 flowers for your garden. I am so impressed with your ability to retell the story using the 5-finger storytelling method. Make sure you use this method with every story you read. Happy reading!